Good morning. Here, all of you uh, listen my words. When every day my class link is same. Once I announce the class, automatically at that time you have to join. Link no change of link. This is not a Zoom. Zoom also same link, but if it is the Google Meet, that's a different. Every day the link has refreshed. But in WebEx and Zoom, every day I have been following the same link. No change of link. No need to keep every day the link. What is the need to send the link? Understand? Automatically will join at the time. What the time I announced. Okay. Okay, in the last class, it is the concept of, once again I have to explain parameterized methods. Parameterized methods. Okay, parameterized methods means, okay, this is the parameterized method. Here, this is the get data is the method. That method have the two parameters. Okay, that method have the two parameters. Parameterized method. Get data is the parameterized method. Okay, parameterized method. What is the meaning of parameterized method means? You have to send, this is the function with arguments. Okay, this is the function with arguments. Okay, the last class already explained every that is the get data with different get data also. Once again I have to explain, all of you follow, because of this is very important. If you don't know all those things, that means the big programs you cannot write it. The concepts you cannot understand, you cannot write it. Object oriented concepts. Okay, now this is the parameterized constructor. This is the parameterized method. Okay, now go to main method. Okay, here. Okay, this is not a student class. There is no student class here. This is student 2. This is student 2. Okay, this is the student 2 class. Okay, here have the student 2 class. Now I will call the get data. That is s1 dot get data. S1 dot get data. That means the first argument is integer argument. The first argument is integer argument. That is the next argument is string argument. Okay, the second argument is string argument. At the same time, in the S2 object also, all the get data, first argument is 502, that is the integer argument, second argument is string means that is 0. Okay, that means in the S object, what is the state of the S object? Okay, 501 and Sanjana. Okay, 501 and Sanjana. Okay, next one, what is the state of the second object, S2 object? 502 and Sri Ram. Now I can display. S1 dot display. Next S2 dot display. Okay, S1 dot display and S2 dot display. Okay, now here I will copy. This is a parameterized method. Just go to main. Okay, go to the main. Okay, now this is these two are the calling the parameterized methods. Okay, these two are the parameterized method. Okay, the next one. Suppose here, what kind of parameters here I will send? Integer parameter and string parameter. Integer parameter and string parameter. Instead of what is the integer? Integer is the primitive type. Okay, integer is the primitive type. Here string is the another kind of object. Okay, string is not a array here. String is an object. Str is a here Sanjana is an object. In which class? That is the object of which class? String class. That's not a character array in Java. Already I said that. What is the difference between character array and string? String is a class, character array is an array. Okay, now I will send the argument as an object. Object are sent passing as an arguments. Okay, objects are passing as an argument. You will send the objects as a arguments. Okay, you will send the objects as a argument. Suppose here I will take one more class for clear. They're having a lot of issues passing the arguments, passing objects as an arguments. Okay, here I will give the name passing objects is the class name. Okay, here no need of main method. Passing objects. Okay, now passing objects means what is the need of this program? Suppose I have two objects. Okay, I have two objects. One object having the data, another object also having the data. Now I want to add these two objects data. Just addition. Okay, just addition. Two objects data I have to add. Okay, now I have to add means I will take the two integer variables. Okay, two integer variables. So first of all, read data. Void read data. Void read data or get data. Okay, one more you have to observe here. One more you have to observe the name of the method read data. The first letter here we have this is a combination of two words. Read data is a method name is a combination of two words. The first word has started with small letter. The second word has started with capital letter. Predefined methods of Java having the same procedure follows the same. Even class name also. Suppose the class name or method name. Suppose if it is a class name. Okay, look here. Here, this is the passing objects means definitely this is also capital letter. O is also starting with capital letter. Passing is the one word, objects is the another word. Okay, passing is the one word, objects is the other word. Word should be capital in if it is a predefined class. You have to follow the same also for user defined classes. So it's not a problem. But if it is a method, the predefined methods are combination of two words. If the method having the combination of two words, method name having the combination of two words, the first word has started with zero, sorry, small letter. The second word has started with capital letter. Okay, the second word has started with capital letter. Okay, that is suppose what the predefined method naming convention. Here also I followed the same. Okay, I followed the same read data. Okay, read data means here I can declare scanner class import java dot util dot star. In the read data method, I will create the object of scanner class. Scanner s is equal to new scanner of system dot in of system dot in. Okay, now I can read the system dot out dot println enter a and b values. A and b values. You can read the a value. A is equal to s dot next int. A is equal to s dot next int. B is equal to s dot next int. Read the two values. Okay, read the two values. Now I can add the method. I can add objects of two objects using the add method. Okay, here the object, suppose one object having the data, another object having the data. Okay, first of all, I will write the main method. Passing of passing objects. P1 is equal to capital P, small p. Oh, it's capital letter. Passing objects. P1 is equal to new passing objects. Okay, this is the object 1. Next one, this is the object 2. This is the P2. Two objects. Now I will call the P1 dot read data. Okay, whenever I will call the read data, the object P1 instances are initialized. P2 dot data means object 2 has initialized with instances are initialized with P2 dot read data. P1 dot read data means what is the read data? Come to here. Read data means what is the meaning? That is instances are initialized. Okay, now come to P1 having some values, P2 having the some values whenever these two are executed. Okay, now we'll call the okay, P1 having the data, P2 also having the data. Both objects are having the data. Now I can add in P1 object from the P1 object, I will call the add method. Okay, from the P1 object, call the add method. Which object has added? P2 object has added. Okay, P2 object has added. P1 dot add of P2. This is not completed. First of all, you can understand P1 dot add of P2. P1 dot add of P2 means this is equivalent to P1 plus P2. Okay, this is equivalent to P1 plus P2. You cannot add the objects directly. You cannot add the objects means that's not meaning. P1 plus P2 is not accepted. But the meaning of P1 plus P1 of add of P2 means the meaning is P1 plus P2. Meaning is P1 plus P2. Now we'll go to, okay, what is the here? Add is the method. Okay, what is the type here? P2. What is the type of P2? P2 is the passing objects object. Passing objects class object. P2 is the passing class object. P1 is also passing class object. But here the argument is the passing objects class object means, okay, now we'll go to main method. Sorry, passing objects class. Okay, here what is the add method? There, what is the syntax? That is the add of P2. What is P2? Passing objects. The actual argument is a passing objects class. Object means, okay, the form argument is also same. Passing objects P2 or P. Passing objects P. Okay, actual argument has copied into form argument. Which is the actual argument? Okay, I will copy this class here. Later I will delete it for understanding purpose. Okay, this is the class. Okay, what is the call here? P1 dot add of P2. Okay, P1 dot add of P2. Come to here, the P2 has copied into P. Okay, which object? Suppose whenever we will call the P1 dot add of P2 means, okay, we'll go to P1 dot add of P2 means add method is executed in which object that belongs to which object. Belongs means go to that object and executing add method. P1 dot add of P2 means In which object add method is executed? P1 dot add of P2. P2 also having the add method. Both are the objects of passing object class. In which method add method is calling? From which method? P1 or P2? P1 dot means. P1 dot means P1 dot add means which method is calling? P1 object add method or P2 object add method? ఏ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో ఉన్నాం మనం ఇప్పుడు P1 dot add అంటే you will go to P1 object. Okay, in which object? P1 object. We are in the P1 object. Whenever the P1 dot add of P2 is executing means we are get P1 object. P1 object itself having the data. Yes or no? P1 object itself have the data. Suppose 10 and 20. You can assume 10 and 20. A and B values are 10 and 20. You will write A and B directly inside the object. That is current object. If you look here, P1 dot P add of P2 means P1 is the method is calling by using which object means that is called as current object. That is called as current object. Suppose here two students are there. X student, Y student. Both are capable to add the numbers. Both are capable to add the numbers. Both are having the numbers. Now Y student data is given to X student. Okay, what is the function here? Add X dot add of Y. Who can do the addition here? X can do the addition. At the same time we can write it Y dot add of X also. Y can also do. X dot add of Y means who can do the addition here? X can do the addition. Okay, what can add? X having its own data, at the same time Y also having the data. Because of the Y data is also given by the Y. That is X dot add of Y means Y is called as remote object. Who can do the addition? He is the current object. Here who can do the P1 dot add of P2 means who can do the addition by add method, who can execute the add method? P1 can execute the add method. With what we have, what is the remote object here? P2. Where is the P2? P2 is copied into P while calling. Okay, while calling, P2 is adding, P2 is copied into P. Actual argument has copied into formal argument. Okay, now whenever we will call P1 dot add means, okay, now we'll write it A is equal to what is A here? Suppose simply I will write the A. In which object we are in? A object lo unnam manam. P1 object. Suppose Gangotri and Nagavarshini. Gangotri and Nagavarshini. Gangotri having 10 and 20. Nagavarshini having 30 and 40. Okay, Gangotri can do the addition. Okay, Gangotri data 10 directly. 10 is in A. Directly Gangotri can access A because of Gangotri itself, that is A. Nagavarshini A means Nagavarshini dot A. Because of Nagavarshini is the remote object. Nagavarshini is the remote object. Now here I want to add A plus P dot A. Okay, A plus P dot A. P dot A means what is the P? P is equal to P2. At the same time, P is equal to P plus P dot P. Okay, B is equal to P dot B. Okay, P is equal to P dot B. Where is the resultant? P1 having the resultant. Directly we'll write it A and B means these are belongs to current object. Which is the current object? P1. Which is the remote object? P2. P2, where is the P2 in the add method? P. While executing, where is the P2? In P. Okay, P means P is the remote object. Okay, P is the remote object. Now A is equal to A plus P dot A, B is equal to B plus P dot A means the resultant. Okay, 10 plus 10, 20, 10 plus 30, 40, and 20 plus 50 is 20 plus 40 is equal to 60. Where is the resultant? Okay, the resultant is in the P1 object. Okay, the resultant is in the P1 object. Okay, now I can run this program. Okay, at the same time, write the display. Write the display. Okay, now Okay, that is I will write it system dot out dot println. Okay, system dot out dot println a plus concatenation plus b. Okay, I can display the a and b. Okay, whatever that object display is calling from using any object. Okay, now we'll go to main method, main class. Okay, that is p1 dot. Now we'll write it p1 dot display and p2 dot display. p2 dot display. Okay, now run this program. I will explain. Don't worry. First, we will observe the outputs. Okay, this is the first p1 dot get data. P1 dot get data means here I can give the 10 and 20. Okay, in the P1A, P1 object A is the 10, P2 object B is the 20. Next get data, P2 dot get data. Okay, now I will give 30 and 40. P2 objects also having the AB, P2 object A is 30, P2 object B is equal to 40. Okay, look here. First P1 dot display. P1 dot display means, okay, what is the code in the P1 dot display? A is equal to A plus P dot A. B is equal to P plus P dot A. Okay, what is A? A is 30. Okay, because of P1 dot add of P2. P1A is 10 plus P2A is 30, that is assigned to P1A. That is the meaning of A is equal to A plus P dot A. P1A is added with P2A. The resultant is stored in the P1A. That is A is equal to A plus P dot A. That is 10 plus 30 is equal to 40. Next, B is equal to B plus P dot B means, okay, P1B plus P2B, that is sum that after addition that is assigned to P1B. What is the P1A? P1B 20. What is the P2B? 40. 20 plus 40 is equal to 60. Okay, 20 plus 40 is equal to 60. Okay, as usual, P2 dot display means what are the values of P2? P2 values are not changed. No change of P2 values. That is 30 and 40. But P1 values are changed. Okay, P1 values are changed. Okay, now I can explain with. Okay, I will copy this. The single file for an explanation is very simple. Okay, look here. First of all, come to the first public static void main. Passing objects P1 is equal to new passing object. P1 is created. Object P1 is created, object P2 is created. Okay, then you will go to P1 dot read data. P1 dot read data means, okay, go to P1 object read data. Which is the current object? Here there is no remote object. P1 dot get data means the P1 is always before dot whatever that object that is called as current object. In which object read data is calling? Which object? P1 dot read data means which object read data is calling? ఏది కాల్ అవుతుంది P1. Okay, come to here, scanner as system dot enter dot, here I can enter A is equal to 10. That is P1 dot A is equal to 10 and P1 dot B is equal to 20. Okay, P1 dot A is equal to 10, P2 dot P1 dot B is equal to 20. Okay, that is the first read data. Next, P2 dot read data. Now which is the current object? Now which is the current object? P2. Okay, now we'll go to read data in P2 object. Okay, in the P2 object, okay, what's the here I will enter P2 dot A is equal to P2 dot A is equal to what's the P2 dot A? 30 I will give, and P2 dot B is equal to 40. Okay, P2 dot B is equal to 40. Okay, understand. Now what's the next method? P1 dot add of P2. Okay, in which object add method is calling? Which object add method is calling? P1 dot means. P1 object. Okay, P1 object. Now we'll go to here. The P2 has copied into P. What are the values of A and B in P2? 30 and 40. Here, what is the P2 value? P2 dot A value 30. P2 dot B is equal to 40. Okay, now we'll come to A is equal to, what is the A? We are in which object? P1 object. What is the A value in the P object? That is 10. P1 object is 10. 10 plus, okay, P dot A. P means that is P2 dot A. P2 dot A means that is 30. 10 plus 30 is equal to 40. That is assigned to P1 dot A. Okay, that is assigned to P1 object A. Okay, next P1 P2 object P1 object B is equal to P1 object B plus P dot, that is P means P2 dot B. What is P2 dot B? 40 plus, what is the P1 dot B? 20. Okay, 40 plus 20 is equal to 60. That is assigned to P1 object. Okay, that is assigned to P1 object B. Okay, P1 object B. This is the one case. P1 dot add of P2. Okay, P1 dot add of P2. Okay, understand. Next one, understand all of you? Understand all of you?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of arguments are passing here? Passing objects as arguments. Passing objects or arguments. Okay, passing objects or arguments. Okay, next. Then I will go to, this is the read data, okay, passing objects. Okay, here I will take one more object. Okay, here having the P and P1 and P2. Okay, here I will take one more object. Okay, that object is, suppose before going to that object, first of all, you have to returning the objects. The next concept is returning the objects. You have to return the integer values and float values, all kind of values you have to return. At the same time, you have to return the objects also. Okay, you have to return the objects also. Okay, whenever I want to explain the returning the objects means, okay, now this is not a void. Add method, from the add method, I want to return the object. I want to return the object means what kind of object I want to return from add method. That is the return type of the, that class name is the return type of the method. Suppose if you want to return the integer value from the function, what is the return type of the function? Integer. If you want to return the floating point value from the function, what is the return type? Float. At the same time, what kind of argument, what kind of object you have to return from the add method? Okay, the class name is the, okay, the class name is the object. Okay, the class name is the class name. Okay, the class name is the object. The class name is the return type. What kind of object I have to return here? Passing the return type is, 1 minute. Passing objects. Okay, passing objects, add passing objects of P. Okay, what kind of object you have to return here? Okay, what kind of object you have to return here? What kind of object? Passing objects. Okay, passing objects class object. Here I can create the one object passing objects. Suppose P3 or temp. Passing objects temp is equal to, okay, passing objects temp. Okay, how to create the object here? This is not a C++. New passing objects. Okay, new passing objects. Okay, now I will write it temp.a. Temp.a is equal to a plus p dot a. Okay, temp.a is equal to, okay, p dot a. That means temp is also passing class object. Okay, temp is also passing class object. Next, temp.b is equal to b plus p dot b. Okay, b plus p dot b. Passing objects temp is equal to new passing objects. Temp dot a is equal to a plus p dot a. Temp dot b is equal to p dot b plus p dot b. Return temp. Okay, return temp. Whenever you can change this. Okay, now this is assigned to, I will create one more object. I will create one more object. This is assigned to, add method is assigned to, okay, p3 is equal to p1 dot add of p2. Okay, p3 is equal to add of p2. Now I will call the display. Where is the resultant? Resultant is in the p3. Okay, p3 dot display. Okay, p3 dot display. Here how many number of objects? 3 objects. Okay, how many number of objects? 3 objects. You can understand. First one, p1 dot read data, p2 dot read data, p3 is equal to p1 dot add of p2, p3 dot display. Okay, here this is the returning the object. Okay, come to the passing objects. Okay, this is passing objects. Passing object, that is p2. p2 has copied into p. Here I created one more object, that is temporary object. Temp dot a is equal to a plus p dot a. Temp dot b is equal to b dot b plus p dot b. Okay, return temp. Okay, return temp. Understand? Okay, returning the temp value. Okay, here what is the temp dot a plus, this is the p1 dot a, because of calling p1 dot add means, okay, that is a plus p dot a. Next, b plus, this is the p1 dot a plus p2 dot b, that is assigned to temporal object. Temporal object has returned from the method and assigned to p3 object. Okay, and assigned to p3 object. No need to create the object also here. This is called as a reference. Okay, this is called as reference. Whenever the temp has assigned to p3, p3 will convert into object. Okay, p3 will convert into object. Okay, now run this program. P1, 30 and 40. Output is equal to 40, 60. We need which object having the output? P3 object have the output. Okay, P3 object have the output. Okay, P3 dot display. the p3 dot display. Okay, this is the way of writing the program. Okay, returning the objects. Okay, returning the objects. How do you return the objects? We'll create the new object and return. Suppose 1 minute. Okay, returning the objects. Next one, come to here, passing objects.java. Here, no need to take the another object. Okay, no need to take the another object. Totally, how many kinds of objects here? One is temporary object, one is the current object, one is the remote object. Okay, first one, what kind of object is written here? Temporary object is written. The next one is returning the remote object. Okay, returning the remote object. Returning the remote object means you have to write it p dot a is equal to output should be in the returning remote object. Which is the remote object here? P is the remote object. P dot a is equal to a plus p dot a. The previous what I returned there? A is equal to a plus p dot a. Now where is the resultant there? The resultant or resultant values are in the p1 object. Here p dot a means where is the resultant values in the p2 object. P2 dot b is equal to p plus p dot b. Okay, return which object here? P object. Okay, return p object. Then you will write it here. This is not a